Gerard, I appreciate the time. I appreciate you taking the time to, to share some thoughts with me. I know we're a few months into our journey together. We had just finished talking about, the journey and how long it goes on for the rest of our lives. But I want to go back to the beginning, even before your journey began. Take me through where you were fitness-wise, health and fitness-wise, where you were at that point in time in your life when you decided it was time for a change.
All right. So in the beginning, I was I was already in the steps of like trying different things. It just in the beginning, a lot of different things either didn't make sense to me mentally. I wasn't really seeing the results. So it was, hey, I'll try this new diet, but then the restrictions didn't make any sense. Or, hey, I will try to be more active, but then I didn't know the ratio between what was good for me or what was like pushing it enough or too much, and I would get injured. So it was like I was trying to find a way to be better, but not knowing how to be better.
Absolutely. And that happens to a lot of people, and especially when they're trying to figure out the best way, because we know fitness is not a one size fits all proposition.
Yeah.
So take me through was there a moment in time or a turning point, if you will, where you decided, all right, I need to seek out professional help for my health and fitness to be able to find that guidance and that knowledge that I need to know that I'm doing things the right way and getting results because of it?
Yes, there was a point for that. For me, that point came into like, hey, trying a new diet that on paper it seemed relatively normal. It fit my restrictions that I would do anyway. So trying to dive into that and not knowing like the barriers of what's too much and too little, and kind of like affected me negatively. Like I've actually had an injury due to that, and going, okay, this would be a lot smoother as a process if I knew what I was doing, or if I knew what to correct, if I knew what to look out for. And the fact that I didn't know told me I need to find someone who does know, or, and this is a bad thing entirely, I want somebody who's actually in that field to tell me, hey, this isn't good for you as a practice. Do something different. So that was the point I was just like, all right, I'm going to take a gamble and reach out to someone. And if I can get that mindset to figure out, yo, what is the best practice for you, then I'll just do that.
Absolutely. And absolutely. And you're doing it. I mean, you've had great results. You've done the work. I mean, it's pretty simple. When you do the work, you get results, and that's something that we've really truly focused on since day one. I know we met on social media, Facebook, specifically. And we talked a lot back and forth about a lot of different things, which was good. We were getting to know each other, and that's the way it should be done. What led you to finally decide, all right, I'm going to do this, and Victor's the guy I'm going to do it with?
For that, it was more of the fact that when you talk to someone, especially for me, I always have the sense that when I talk to someone, I might be bothering them in the way. So I tend to just not do that.
Mhm.
When it came to you, it's more like, oh, we're actually having a conversation, and I'm actually interested in like how you get to where you want to get to. Like the conversation felt like just the fact that we're conversating, having that dialogue benefited both of us, that I want to keep going with that. So I felt like at that point, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it because it benefits everybody involved. That means me as well as yourself. So that's why I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to do this, it'll be weird if it's not Victor.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you're exactly right, though. That it's our journey together. I mean, and the goal is to get you the results you're looking for, and not just the results. And we've talked about this. The lifestyle that you're looking
Yeah.
for as well. And I think that's, that's the bigger picture that we always talk about. It's not just in weight loss or muscle gain. It's not just in a better diet. It's the overall lifestyle change. So we never have you go back to where you were in the first place that got you to this
Yep.
point. I mean, that's the ultimate key. And that happens so often to a lot of people, so I'm glad that, and I said, I know you felt like you said, you felt like we were a good fit, and I felt like we were a good fit as well. And that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with everybody. Everybody's not a right
Yeah.
fit for me, and maybe they're a right fit for someone else. But I could tell pretty quickly that we were going to be a good fit. And sure enough, we have been a good fit, because the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Yep.
So when we first started out, when you first decided you wanted to sign up with me and we were going to work together, what were your expectations? What were you envisioning would happen?
Well, I was kind of envisioning more of like, overall, here's the game plan and here's the idea. Like, well, okay, because for me, I work in tech.
Mhm.
So we have these things called like sprints. So we have an overall project, but we have these dedicated things we do per like every few days or every week. And we break the entire project down to per week, this is the goal that we kind of want to hit.
Mhm.
And that process kind of seemed the same as like the one we're working on now. So that was more of like, oh, well, I do this already. So gearing this toward fitness, this makes sense. And I haven't seen another process that would like it. So it's like, oh, okay, no, I can stick with this. This would be totally fine. This
Absolutely.
is where I need to be.
Yeah, simpler the better. I mean, that's what it needs to be. We say life isn't easy, it's hard, but it can be simple. And it is simple if we
Yep.
treat it that way. And what we're doing here, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not doing anything revolutionary. We're putting in the basic steps that have been tried and true for generations, putting them into place that works in a way that works best for you. And that's what's been working. And I couldn't be prouder of you, because you're doing the work. You're getting the job done. And I know you're going to continue doing that as we move forward. So if somebody were to get, this would be my final question, and I once again appreciate all your help with this.
No problem.
The final question is, if someone were to come to you and say, hey, you're making some great results, I can see it, you're dropping weight, you're looking healthier, you got more energy, there's just more of an aura about you, and I've seen it myself from day one. What have you been doing, and who have you been doing it with? What would you tell them to say, hey, this is why you need to go work with Victor, you need to sign up with Fernandez Fit, because here's what he's going to do for you?
I would say that in a short term, learn like talking with Victor kind of like put you in the mindset of like how to simplify your steps to where you want to be. Because I don't want to say it's just fitness, because it's not. Because that can kind of bleed into everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So because I've kind of had this talk already, which is why like I've kind of messaged a friend about you already. So I've tell them like a lot of the problems that kind of get us to where we are now is that everything gets so complicated to where it's a big giant mess that we can't really get out of. So a lot of undoing that is just simplifying the problem. It's just, well, you want to be healthier? Okay. Kind of figure out like what about that is making you unhealthy and figure out what you can change and what you can move around. If you want to be better at like a certain hobby or you want to be better at a certain skill set, it's the same thing. Just picture or talk to Vic and just get the building blocks of, okay, here's this overall problem.
Mm-hmm.
How do you simplify it out to where I can change this one thing each day or every week or this one thing every once in a while to make things go from complicated to simple?
Mm-hmm.
Because once you get to simple, everything else is easy. And not easy as in anybody can do it, easy as in just no effort. It's just easy to understand and easy to follow through. And it's like that like I'm not sure if I'm like completely answering the question, but just like to go to you is like that's what you get from it.
Mhm.
You kind of you get directed to a mindset of here's how to simplify things to where the things you want are no longer as complicated as you made them out to be. And
Oh,
fitness is a great headway into that, but it also, since it leads into everything else, that's one of like the main reasons why I want someone to come to you. Because even if you don't have a fitness issue, just a mindset of like simplifying your life is is wholly beneficial to everything.